Hey there, Stampin' friends. Welcome to Movie Monday with Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen. Hope you guys had a wonderful week and you are ready to jump back into a Monday and take a look at some fun projects that I'm going to share with you using the Pampered Pets bundle. I am a huge dog lover and a cat lover. Actually, in my first life, before I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I was actually a veterinary technician. So I do have my love for animals, and so this is one of the first suites that I purchased. So this is the card that we're going to create today. It's a little bit of a fun fold, and this is a case from Pinterest, and we're going to use the Pampered Pets stamp set. Actually, just a little bit of the set because these pieces actually are coming from the Designer Series paper stack, which is absolutely adorable. So let's go ahead. Let me show you real quick. Here is what that looks like. So these are the die cuts that you're going to get with the bundle, as well as all of this stamps, and you can see some of these match. You can cut these out, and also the great thing is this die and this die match two images in the designer paper, so you can actually cut out the little schnauzer and a little scared kitty cat here. And then how about these guys? Are these not absolutely adorable? So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, you can shop online 24/7 anytime you like at my website, and this is June's host code. It's actually getting ready to end here soon because June is flying by. So the first thing we're going to do is start with a piece of real red. This is 5.5 by 6.25. I'm going to pull in my Simply Scored here, and I'm going to do a quick score at 4 1/4. Okay, so that's just going to fold down across the top like that. And then I have a piece of the Designer Series paper, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. I'm going to attach that to that little flap. And I want to take a moment here because this is our brand new Stampin' Seal. I've been using it since it came out live in the catalog the beginning of June. Been using it for a couple weeks and I really am enjoying it. You may start to see mixed reviews if you're following a lot of different demonstrators on YouTube and blogs and that type of thing. But I think there's a little bit of a learning curve that goes with it. And so I just thought I would share a little bit about what I have found that's working for me. First of all, working on a hard, flat surface is very helpful. If you're working on, sometimes we stamp on the squishy pad, sometimes we use our silicone mats, sometimes maybe we have dimensionals on already and we're trying to put our adhesive on. When it gets lumpy bumpy, it needs a little bit more pressure. So it does have a removable cap, so I take the removable cap off and then I keep it even. So that's my trick. That's what's working for me. You might hear different demos say different things, maybe having an angle, but I find that working, keeping it level, and then at the end, I do a little tip up. So it looks similar to what our fast fuse looked like, but we had to do a check mark with the fast fuse to like break the seal. And this one, you do not have to do that. So what I find is by just pulling straight back, very parallel to my table, doing a little lift at the end, kind of rolls the adhesive back up onto the roller so you're ready for the next pass. Now, occasionally a little piece will catch and it'll kind of break the seal a little bit, and then you just have to manually roll that roller up until you get the adhesive right on the end. Very light pressure, I'm finding, very light pressure. So just simply rolling it across and then a little tip up is what's working for me. I haven't had any trouble with it kind of gooping up on itself. We were having trouble with our snail. We really were. It just was not working as well. A lot of the adhesive was staying on the little plastic, so you weren't getting full coverage. It wasn't very strong. Pieces and parts were falling off of your projects, and so we did have to change to a new seal, new adhesive, and that's where the seal came from. Now we do have Seal Plus, which would be very similar to our Fast Fuse, so it's extra strong. So what I'm finding with this is a little goes a long way. It is very strong, but I have been able to remove it if I needed to move something, you know, as long as you didn't put like 8,000 yards on your project, I was able to kind of pull it up and shift and move things just a little bit. Now, a lot of folks like the green glue because you do have that movability time until it becomes until it actually adheres down. But you know, it's a choice of what you want to use. So I really like the seal for my heavy duty projects that I don't want to fall apart. And I'm liking the seal for my regular stamping. So like I said, I just pull it, tip a little bit, and it's going well. Now I have been through 2 already. There's a little bit more in here than there was in the snail. So you will see a little difference in the price because of that. There's 16.4 yards of adhesive in here. And when I get down to the bottom, I do find myself having to push a little bit more, and you'll see a red tab start to show up. So you know you're getting almost empty, and especially helpful because it's clear so you can see the red line in there. And I did notice as I was getting toward the end that I had to do a little bit more pressure. I'm sure because it's starting to get tighter in there as it's getting towards the end. So I had a little more pressure at the end, but not a big deal. So now I've got a piece of real red that is 1 inch by 5.5, and a piece of the designer series paper that is 5.25 by 3/4. So I'm just going to run a strip right down across here and then tip up. It's very quiet. You don't have that ratchety sound like you did with the snail. And let me try and not talk so I can line this up evenly. All right, then I have a piece of Whisper White that's going to go in the center here, and this is 5.25 by 4, and I want to stamp my sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and get it inked up, but I'm not going to adhere it just yet. I'm going to stamp first because I'm creating a little bit of a different opening. So I'm going to just eyeball this. That's going to go at the bottom. This panel is going to fold down, and so I want to kind of evenly space that in the middle. So I just use that little panel for my visual before I glued it down. That way, in case you have an accident, you can take this off and flip it over and try again. So I just still do, again, just little tips. And that's breaking the seal enough for me that I'm not struggling. But I am really, really a fan of this adhesive. So keep working with it, keep trying it, and see if that helps you like it does for me. All right, so now I have a piece of basic black, and I cut this out with the stitched rectangle framelit or die. Then I pulled in a piece of the coordinating, oh my goodness, my ink got on there. It's okay. How did that happen? Oh, I set my ink pad lid on there. That was dumb, Jody, just dumb, but that's all right. We're gonna go ahead and make it work anyway. So that's a piece of the DSP. It is the back side of what we were just using. This one is 2 by 3 3/8. Close that up before I have another uh-oh. And I'm going to attach that. So, okay, so you can see now why I'm trying to roll and it's not coming. There's a little bit, the adhesive just backed off the roller a little bit. So I'm just going to roll it forward with my finger and I'm back in business. Attach this piece to the front. So it's hard to see, but there is stitching. And so I want this paper to kind of go inside so my stitches still show. Now, this was the designer paper I told you about that works with the die cut. So I went ahead and die cut out that little scared kitty. And then look at this little fat sucker. How cute is he? So he's from the designer series paper too. And I'm just going to hand fussy cut him out. I thought that I had already done this, but I did not. So my apologies as you wait for me to cut out this fluffy kitty. I'm guessing he might be like a Himalayan or a Persian maybe. He looks very proud of himself, that's for sure. And I think I've said this multiple times, but if you are a fussy cutter and you don't have our paper snips, you need to get a pair because they are just awesome. They make the little fussy cutting so much easier. So there is not a die, obviously, for this guy. There's a die for the sitting dog and the scratching dog. And then we have the die for the one little laying down kitty. So if you want to cut from the paper, you'll have to do a little bit of the fussy cutting on your own. So now I'm going to take, okay, you guys, bear with me because I have all these dimensionals, like the little nubbins left over, and I want to use them. So I just cut them all into pieces, and I'm just using up the little edges, kind of cleaning out the house, so to speak. So I'm going to put Mr. Fat Kitty up here. And then I'm also going to put dimensionals on Little Scared Kitty. Yes, I did cut a piece. And attach him onto this panel. All right, so now I'm going to fold this down and I'm going to attach my rectangle only where it hits this flap. So I don't want to have adhesive on the whole thing. I just want it to be on like the top third. So I can line that up to where I want it. Am I on camera okay? I think I feel like I'm playing a little high. Now I'm just going to do one strip across the bottom, lay this piece down and make sure it's nice and even and straight, and then I'm going to close that panel. So now I have a fun kind of different fold. Okay, isn't that cool? Such a cute fun card with just a little something different. So let me share some other things that I've been creating with the Pampered pets because they are so cute. So I had a fun weekend. You guys, if you follow me on Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen on Facebook, you can log on there, and I'll be putting up still photos so that you can see all of my creations. Take a screenshot or save them to your computer. I also will preface this by saying most of these are cased. I go on Pinterest and I find all kinds of ideas and I copy them because there's so many creative people out there that are making, there's that little dog out of the designer paper, making amazing things. This was the very first one I created because we're Great Dane owners, and so I had to make myself a Great Dane card. Now I want to share this one because this is a gift card holder. So it's going to open this way and this way. Put a little gift card in there, and you could do like Chewy or Petco, PetSmart, something like that. And that would be fun for your friend maybe who has a new puppy or a new kitten. I heard that there's a lot of COVID puppies and kittens coming because people were home and having more time together and in the house. And so adoptions were up in the shelters, which is pretty cool. So little gift card holder. Then I have this little guy here who is so adorable. And then of course I made this fun swing card. So you can check those out on Jody Breckbill's Stampin' Queen Facebook page. So thanks so much for joining me, you guys. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you right back here next week for Movie Monday.